Hey everyone, happy to see you guys. How you all doing? I hope everything is going well. And today I would like to bring the message of dreams. Talk about dreams and the most important aspect to keep working on your dream where your dream seemed like already came true. And of course, especially if your dream is or was a relationship that's inspired by something I'm currently working on right now. So I had a session with a man who was happily married for the first time, happily but very short. So his dream did come true. He met a lady of his dreams in many ways, in many aspects, and they had a child. She was from Kiev, Ukraine, and things were going very well. I mean, they both were, each other dream or each other vision of a partner, but both of them made one crucial mistake. They kind of take it for granted from there. They were lucky to meet each other. They were lucky to build a beautiful connection and create a family, and go through all the process of getting to the country, and they had everything to be the most happy couple. But one thing, they just didn't consider that happy relationship is really an everyday effort and everyday work. They did not have a plan to execute. They kind of get very comfortable, and also an issue that's cultural difference. In American culture, very often when you aren't happy with things, you keep quiet. But in our culture, it's different. When you aren't happy with things, you bring things up. And so they didn't quite have, a system where they really share their feelings. The man would hold things inside, the lady would be more of explosive type. And so anyways, they just thought that things going to grow bigger and bigger, more and more beautiful on its own, but they didn't. And I don't think they ever do, because even with the people where we have great chemistry, we have great understanding, we have all these things, relationships and love is work. So slowly they stopped dropping the ball, and then it was just like a snowball. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. To make a long story short, lessons learned from that first marriage. And currently this gentleman is in his second marriage, and things are going well, but he already knows some things that should be worked on, right? Some things that sometimes we overlooked, and then in the long run they just hit us like a like a big truck that going on a high speed already. So he actually contacted me I'm working currently with his wife, because the adjustment in the United States is not just language, it's mentality, it's different point of views. It's not as different as if you would be an American, maybe in a Muslim country, for example, where culture totally different, and even just to live there you need to learn a few things. But a lot of customs and traditions and understandings and values and just general things, they are different, and often we can hurt another person just not knowing their background, just not knowing the way you're supposed to bring things. So I basically feel like a translator right now from American mentality to Russian or Ukrainian and backwards. And I can tell you that just showing the effort to understand, they currently, things are going very well, but knowing that how it was in his first marriage, he just wants to make sure that he understands that, they basically have a plan, in a way, what they do, how they express things, what is a day of the week where, they can sit down and talk. For example, sitting down together and talking like really into depths, really about how you feel. It's our thing. When we get together with family in Ukraine, or close person, we talk what's going on in the family, what's going on in our lives, how we can improve it, what's going on in, with our feelings, with our achievements. I mean, not in every family, but in a good family. In America, I mean, I think people also do that, but what I've been observing, people get together and they usually talk about politics. And in Ukraine, people do that too, but I think we have this need to open up, to get close, to understand each other. And that's one of the things that I think in some maybe not so close families, that's one thing, number one, people try to avoid, is to be close and share things. So guys, to make long story short, why I'm telling you this story, if you currently right now in a happy, in a beautiful relationships, and you do not you just feel like things are going right, and you are very blessed. Number one, you're very blessed. It's a wonderful it's like a precious thing to have, but don't get carried away, not in a way that think, oh, I'm thinking all the bad stuff going to happen. Not this way. Don't get carried away, think that things will just grow from this point beautifully on its own. So, have try to think about what really works for you, how you can grow as a couple, how you can make your love stronger, how you can keep all the romance, understanding, and personal growth, if your wife is young and ambitious, and how to support you here, how to have relationship, like your time, your special time together. Like in this first example, the couple had a child very quickly, so they basically did not have any honeymoon any experiences, and then they had a child, and so they didn't have any time planned to go out on a date, or to go out, watch a movie, or to have a night planned for themselves, and that's really was hard on their relationship. So what I'm saying, guys, you have to still work on your dream. The most beautiful things that came true for you, you're very lucky, cherish it, enjoy it, and remember that never take it for granted. Keep working on it, keep learning about your partner. How often soon we just presume we know everything about our partner, then we see their negative parts, and then honeymoon is over. So keep learning, keep discovering, create a system where you almost have to remember sometimes when we get busy to spend that time, to keep growing relationship, because relationship should evolve, from sweet romance to some deep connections. It's kind of remind me of like if you have a beautiful flower, regardless how gorgeous it is, it will need maintenance, it will need water, it will need nutrients, it will need sun to grow. Because if you leave it on its own, regardless again of how stunning it is, it's going to die. So don't let that flower die. See what needs to be done. If you see some signs of a problem, make sure you fix that problem. You patch that hole. Like when our windshield has a little tiny crack, we fix it so the whole windshield won't fall apart. So things of this nature, guys, I just, I was very touched by the story of this man, and he knew he was responsible for many things that failed in his first marriage, and he just is so dedicated, and he wants his second one to work. Meanwhile, he remains in a good standing with his previous wife, and you know that was a big, huge experience, and he chose to learn from it rather than blame everybody else. So, yeah, have a plan, keep working on your dream, keep, keep, keep things together. You have the power.